Welcome to another edition of What the Fuck Happenings here in the composite structure known as inmendham. That's the label. Anyway, subjects. There's just so many things. You can talk about the mechanics of what's going on in front of our eyes, kind of stuff every day. There's some new observation. Especially since I've changed environments, your focus is changed, and things that weren't you weren't aware of, or you didn't find very you didn't spend much time thinking about. You think more about them because they're right in front of your face, that kind of thing. And so, I guess I'll begin with a anecdote from my reality, and just one of those thoughts that have been running through my head that has to do with a subject that I really wouldn't even care about much if it wasn't right there in front of your face. And so you're just sort of saying, well, there's a psychology here and it's worth talking about. I don't know what it's worth talking about, frankly, but so anyway, it's this whole culture thing of diversity and people's identities. And it gets to the whole racial argument, which, again, I would argue is always a cultural argument. It's always about how people are raised, frankly. And it has nothing to do with genetics. You can make anybody into anything just about. I mean, obviously there's physical limitations. You can't make a Olympic gold medal swimmer out of a short person and all that kind of stuff. There's lots of things you can't do. But I'm just saying the basic form of the human being is more shaped by the environment than shaped by any bullshit about, all Jewish people are greedy or something. It's some stupid, idiotic notion that there's some sort of genetic quality that makes people what they are. So anyway, so it gets this whole, the N-word thing. I don't know, can we find a way to say that without saying it? Neg? Can I say neg? Neg. I'll say neg. Okay. So anyway, you hear this word all over the place now. I'm hearing it more now than I heard it in the Deep South when I was a kid. I mean, a lot more. Like 100 times more. And it's white people and black people playing with the word in the sense that they play this rap music. So this nig rap or neg rap, right? And it's just constant, the word is in every other sentence, like a poem. It's always there. I mean, it just keeps reoccurring over and over and over again. And you're saying, what good is this? I mean, it reinforces, in a sense, to black people, whitey's against you. Whitey's coming to steal your stuff and rip you off and, use his illegitimate power to cheat you. He's cheating. The white man's going to cheat you. Okay? And it just reinforces in a white person like me, oh, that guy is a nig. I mean, look, he's playing his music too loud. Yeah, he's white, but he's playing nig music way too loud, on a public street in front of people's, 15 feet from people's front doors. And you're saying, yeah, well, you're just defining the subject, aren't you? I mean, there are people who are civilized and there's people who are uncivilized, and you're just sort of pointing out you're one of those uncivilized ones. But let's understand that this word was really just intended to say jackass, right? Asshole. And if you wanted to say asshole in Jewish, you'd say kike. And if you want to say asshole in Italian, you go wop, right? But it's just bullshit, right? It doesn't matter what word you're using. You're saying the same thing. So, we should talk about that and whether or not it makes any sense for people to reinforce this idea when they are the definition of the idea. When they're basically saying, that's what I am, asshole. They're screaming it at you. I'm a fucking asshole. They're driving down the street and they're, the Spanish guys in their, 1975 car with no muffler, that bounces up and down. I mean, I actually saw one of those driving down the street. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, how cliche asshole do you want to be? I mean, what's your goal? Gold medal asshole? So, but anyway, so my point is, though, is that there's supposed to be some argument that somehow we're neutralizing these words by using them. And I'm saying it's not gonna work. All right, if everybody starts saying kike, okay, I'm telling you, it's not gonna do racial relations any good. It's not gonna do the Jew haters any good, and the people who would like to think none of this matters, it's not gonna do them any good because they're gonna see it right in front of their face and start associating it. So if all the kikes start saying kike, I'm gonna start saying, yeah, those kikes are a real problem. You know, same thing with the wops. I'm going to notice, oh, a lot of wops are assholes. Gee, what a surprise. I mean, it's just, how does anybody win doing this? And you're saying, okay, so it's a strategy by assholes to somehow neutralize the word asshole. Like we can't possibly have the word asshole anymore because all the asshole words have a cultural reference. Where somebody has labeled you, and the evil people have labeled you based on you've been profiled, which is again a perfectly rational thing to do. Profiling, it's a logical thing to recognize that if a certain kind of bee stings me more often than the other kinds of bees, I'm going to have a prejudice against those bees that sting more often. But then we know the logic of the Martin Luther King statement, which is you have to judge the things as a civilized human being. If you're civilized and understand democracy and constitutions and bills of rights and how to be civilized, then oh right, I can't do that. I can't prejudge the bees. It's just not fair. Okay, you can't have a civilization that way because the one guy isn't responsible for what the other guy's doing. Okay? His parents are responsible. Those are the people we ought to go shoot. But, it's just not fair or right. I won't even get onto the parent thing. Because all these people, way underemployed to be having way too many kids. Just this whole idea that somehow everybody else has to take care of it. Everybody else has to pay for it. And then you see how the government pays for things, and you're saying, shit. I mean, I'm all for some of this and that, but, tearing up perfectly good sidewalks to replace them with kind of shitty new ones. I mean, just, insane waste. You just can't make any sense out of it. Some streets are so bad you can't even walk on them, and they're paving the ones that are got a couple little lumps in it. Because obviously their relatives live on that street, apparently. I mean, the bullshit is just so thick everywhere. And, you're just saying, how does this even work? I mean, how does this society, why isn't it on fire? I mean, why aren't all these houses on fire? Because this system can't possibly be working. I mean, how does food get on people's table? How does anything get done? Because I don't see anybody doing. It's bizarre. It's my reaction to it. It's just, how did we get here? To a worse place than we were when I was, raised in Louisiana. I mean, things are more ludicrous, ironically, in an ironic way. Again, where I'm more aware of this race thing now than I was when I was living with a bunch of bigots. These people aren't supposed to be bigots, but apparently, like I said, there's all kinds of bullshit going on psychologically, because you're saying, what is going on? What is, why are people voluntarily living in the cesspool? I mean, they've chosen, there's a swimming pool here with clean water, and there's one over here full of shit, and they seem to be choosing to live in the shit. So yeah, I don't get it. So I don't really have a statement to make beyond. I was a little surprised that I didn't know this whole nig rap thing even existed. I mean, I knew they said the word once in a while, but I didn't know they wrote a whole bunch of versions of exactly the same song where they just say the word nigger every third word. I don't get it. Sorry, it's just what? That makes sense somehow? That does anyone on earth good. That somehow improves one human being on earth somehow? Beyond the guy who's selling the bullshit song, whose brain does this do good things to? Because the songs are stupid. It's like my horde nigger friend stole my slut nigger. It's just horrible bullshit. What value could it possibly have? How could anybody say, yeah, I'm going to play that, and then I'm going to play it really loud? What the fuck? All right. I mean, sorry, don't get it. Can't get it. Can't find a mitt to make to catch that kind of ball. It's too wacky. It's the fucking wacky ball. I mean, it's, that's... it's too sticky, messy, ugly, gross. I mean, you just can't, there's no way to make sense out of it. All right. I mean, if somebody wants to offer a theory, fine. But I'm just saying, the theory seems to me to be it's exactly, people are all assholes. They're so fucking stupid and so fucking culturally retarded, that they're all going to just decide that I'm never going to tie a shoe again, and I'm going to just walk like an ape man, and I'm going to shuffle, and I'm going to barely, stand up. I'm just not going to, I'm going to pretend I don't have to function at all. I'm just going to drool right on the street. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to... pull the snot into my nose. I don't have to do anything. I just be nothing. Be a blob of stupid. A big blob of fucking stupid. Alright. And they're proud. In spandex. That's the other thing. I mean, nobody... it's so strange. I mean, you see somebody who's actually got a normal body shape, and it shocks you. It's like, whoa, there's humans that have a normal body shape? I didn't think there were any of those left. Because nobody has one. Alright, anyway. They're just observations. I have a nice porch, and the street's right there in front of me, and I see the shit going on. Anyway, so, that was the subject, sort of. I could do comments, but... actually, the Modern Mystic made a video that he just, so the whole problem of communication, even among intelligent people, is so difficult, because he's basically saying what I've said, is that we have to understand that we're just a brain. Okay, we can label it a me, and we can call it things and do all that kind of crap, but it's just a mechanical device. It's a fucking soda machine. And different soda machines produce soda at a different efficiency. But that's all there really is. There's just a bunch of programs running. Just like your iPhone, it has different programs. One's keeping track of what time it is, and one's doing this, and one's doing that. And that's all we are, is a byproduct of that. We have a mood, and we have an emotional disposition, and we have sensitivities. Some phones you can shake the hell out of them, some phones you can't, just because one was wired a little more carefully than the other one was. This kind of bullshit. Just curious, what's in there? How with it? Where was I? Doesn't really matter. I'll just post it in here as a reply, I guess. That should make things simple. Yeah. Alright, so I posted a comment. So he brought the subject of memory and the fact that, we really don't know what this thing is, memory, as a mechanical function. So all we can do is, abstractly get some concept of what a memory is, and write our little bits of what essentially turns into some sort of poetry. And so anyway, he's doing all this poetry, like that's what the ancients first caught on, was all these little tricks of language. So if you have enough rhymes with nig and nig and the rhymes will create a musical tone that'll somehow make human beings, the brain, say, that's appreciable, and it won't sound like noise. So you're just trying to avoid something that sounds obnoxious, and so what's pleasant really just has to do with it's not bad. It doesn't have any negative components, so you're just kind of eliminating the negative components. Now, he didn't say any of that. I'm adding all that crap, and that's all this poetry crap is it's just eliminating the annoying parts of words, and just keeping the essence, the ones that are the least annoying, kind of thing. But who cares? I mean, it's just a stupid way for human beings to communicate, is by essentially turning something into a different language. It's like some songs are much prettier in their original language because you don't know what the words mean. And if you actually knew what the words mean, the song would annoy the fuck out of you because there's a bunch of fucking nigger in there or some other bullshit, And if you don't know that those words are in there, it's not going to bother you. But if you listen to the song and actually know what they're saying, and they're singing the "I love my dishwasher," it's just not going to work. This is stupid. What am I listening to this piece of shit for? It's going to annoy you, because now it has annoying bits. Okay, so that's enough of that. So I'll do some comments while I'm here. How come I don't get these ads? I don't know. How come you put double, triple spaces in a comment on a time code too? So I mean, you obviously don't watch any of my videos, because you probably don't. Well, you couldn't figure it out anyway. See, this is a little easy things to figure out. It's quite obvious I read my comments on my comment page, which means all the comments are here from all the videos. I can't click that time code and just go to the video. It'll give me the time code for the wrong video. It might. Let's see if it works in here. Yeah, it might work here. Well, I'm not going to play an ad, so fuck that. Anyway, never mind what I just said then. All right. So anyway, this is what I said about memory. A good little piece of throwing words together. The brain is a reflex, more precisely a big pile of reflexes. So as I've sort of pointed out before, it started with the knee jerk. It started with some reflex that triggered in a microbe excreting its waste, or opening its mouth even, or some other mechanism where it was to the organism's advantage to have a system where it did one thing at night and one thing in the day, and there was a trigger for that, and that was the first knee jerk, you could call it. It's a simple reflex. And all we are is a big pile of simple reflexes. So we're just a bunch of knee jerks connected to knee jerks that are basically just saying, if, then do this. If this, do that. That's all it is. It's just a bunch of stuff going, if this condition is met, do that. And then that one's connected to, well, if it thatted, then do this, if that. If there's both of these that's, then do another that. And that's all it is, a bunch of connected reflexes. All right, outputs in the form of actions. So we have actions. All of the sentences I just said, the whole composition of this video was all done back there somewhere. I mean, inmendham. Didn't have anything to do with it. Okay, I don't know what the fuck. I didn't know I was just going to say that. I didn't know I was just going to say. I didn't know I just was going to say that. I'm not doing any of this stuff. Okay, the stuff is not doing any conscious evaluations. I'm not getting an opportunity to edit this or do any of that crap in any kind of way where the I part, the part that's actually alive and conscious at this present moment, that guy doesn't have anything to do with it. It has something to do with some other guy. Okay, some other brain is doing it than the brain that's active, the brain that's here, alive. Anyway, All right, output in the form of actions. Some actions, quotes, stay in the brain and cause new inputs seen by the mixing bowl of consciousness. So consciousness is just where the inputs are going through. So I get to see some of the keyboard, I get to see what the camera's seeing, and I get to see what the different inputs are. They all go into one bowl, one place. And then the brain says, I have a reaction to what I'm seeing. I have a reaction, oh, it's 5 o'clock, I have to, blah, 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 blah. And so it sees that, and it throws the, oh, 5 o'clock, 5 o'clock, it puts it right back in front of me again. So some of the actions are, in the bowl, caught in the bowl. All right, there's an automatic reflex that says move your hand to the right 4 inches. There's some sort of reaction that is physical. Words, my lungs have to fill with air, and then I have to shoot them through the vocal cords and do all that crap. Okay, I mean, I don't do it. I'm saying the conscious person doesn't do it, but the brain is obviously doing it, and it's doing it by muscle memory and all that bullshit, So the system has learned how to do it, and it tries to redo it better each time, based on whatever standards it's using to figure out what's better. Like if I'm ing a lot or pausing or going, then I can notice that in a video, and then I can be aware of it in my brain, and then it can try not to do that. But all that happens subconsciously. I have the conscious thought that I'm going to try to do that, but I don't consciously do it. Okay, I don't sit there and try to figure out, oh, you poke here to stop saying so. Okay, that'll stop me saying so too many times. No, it won't. There's no mechanical way I can stop it. I can just stop it by creating a program somewhere back there again that is somehow now aware of that word, reacts to it, and sends an impulse that disengages the don't say that word thing. It tries to stop the word from being injected into the sentences subconsciously. So anyway, so the point is that you're spilling your action, but some of the actions you don't spill, they're spilled back into the bowl. So the bowl, the bullshit brain reacts to what's in the bowl, and it just shoots new stuff in here. So you hear the whistle, and you see the ambulance, or the fire truck, or you see the fire, or you see the little girl under the gas truck, or you see some representation of what that means to you. Now, based on the new culture, I guess what you're going to see is there's a fireworks show, or somebody just hit a home run, because emergency whistles don't mean anything anymore, because they use them to announce stupid things. Terrible. Anyway, mixing bowl of consciousness, which can cause another round of subconscious reaction. So when the ambulance shows up, my brain sees something, hears the sound, it reacts with some learned memory, tension, and then it also throws in some more images, and some of those images are going to create even more tension, because I'm going to react to them as if they're happening. I'm going to see them, and it's going to be sad or depressing or scary or something. And then when I see the image of somebody under the gas truck, let's say, then my brain can react by saying, well, what if it was you, and it can put me under the gas truck, and then I'm even more disturbed in terms of my reactions. My reactions will cascade in the direction of these images. And so this is what fucks us in terms of becoming neurotic or crazy. Is that our brain is reflexing in this really negative way, and it's really hard to stop once you've learned how to talk. It's hard to untalk that way. So just like learning a language, many people never lose their accent, right? They're from Poland or something, and they know all the English words, but they still can't say them in English, okay? They're still saying them like a Polak, Russian or whatever, So clearly, once we've learned something, some of this learning is hard to unlearn. Your brain is really happy to stay with these patterns. So you as a kid, if you're feeling insecure and everything appears to be out to get you, and you're very reactive in this negative way, like every time you hear anything that even sounds like, a fire truck, like the jingle on the ice cream truck sounds a little bit like a fire truck or something, you become paranoid and, a little bit neurotic and crazy, because your brain just keeps driving you into the negative condition. And even though you say to yourself, everything's fine, it's just fine, no, you can say it all you want, but your brain's still doing its own train thing. It's still doing the old reflexes, and it just doesn't want to give up on them. Just like, again, your accent, the way you say words, it's hard to talk like if I was to learn Chinese, I'm still not going to talk like a Chinaman unless I really work on how, I have to change how my reflexes, orient to my vocal cords and all that kind of, you have to really work on it, really practice. All right, anyway. So, which can cause another round of conscious reactions that might include more conscious inputs. So again, it just keeps putting feedback. It's mixing the cake mix, and it keeps throwing blobs of it in front of you to react to taste even. And so this is a lot like the script reading argument and all that kind of stuff, is that some of this stuff your consciousness lets you see exactly how crazy you are, because you can see what it's doing. You can watch it making you nervous or making you irritable and making you upset and creating negative trains of thought and all that stuff. But anyway, memory might be understood as something like old trains that on old reflex track. So the idea is that these are, it's well established, and it's hard track to pull up and change. And so it's grown into the ground of who you are, and you start pulling it up, and it pulls up a lot of other crap, and it just makes a mess, and it's difficult. That can be switched by some other reflex train. So again, the current bullshit hits the switch, and it lets that old train onto the track, and it's just bad news, because it's a smoky, dirty, crappy steam engine of a train. It's not very sophisticated. It's crude and stupid. It's lizard thoughts, and you're kind of just stuck with them. And you have to have some program that shoots lizards. You have to have some knowledge of your neuroses to be able to try to mitigate and say, I see, there's an old lizard, there's another old lizard, lizards are coming to get me. And you have to shoot the old ideas, the old reflexes, the old patterns, to be able to take in things without overreacting, just based on an old language bias, an old habit bias, an old bias that has nothing to do with it earned its place. Your personal experience of watching your mother getting killed by somebody dropping a ham sandwich off the Empire State Building, it makes you paranoid about ham sandwiches from now on. Okay, anybody says ham sandwich, it's going to be kind of a, oh God, that's kind of an unpleasant moment. I encountered a ham sandwich again, and you're just not going to be comfortable with ham sandwiches. But there's nothing logical about that, so your brain can know, oh, that was a 1 in a million thing. It doesn't have anything to do with the rest of the ham sandwiches. Ham sandwiches aren't bad guys. I have no reason to profile all ham sandwiches because one ham sandwich killed my mother. I just can't do that logically. It's not logically sensible. And so I have to try to retrain myself to think ham sandwiches are friendly. They're not mother killers. That kind of thing. And that's your only weapon, though. That's all you have to defend yourself against the innate biases that'll corrupt your ability to function, rationally. And instead, you'll just be a reactive asshole. So Yeah, so I thought it was a good comment. The mystic didn't say anything to it because he really doesn't, you know, he wants to have some kind of conversation where we get clinical about what the brain does, but he really doesn't because, in a sense, he still is doing the mystic thing. He still thinks it's beyond comprehension, that we somehow can't understand the mechanical device as just a mechanical device, and that we can't understand the illusion of consciousness as just that, a projection. It just, frankly, is a projection. It just made, the brain is making it up. It's making it, okay? Yeah, it looks and seems like it's a real thing, but no, it's making it in a non-existent space, okay? It's making it out of a synthetic. It's writing it on a synthetic chalkboard. There's no chalkboard. You know, it just isn't. But it is writing stuff on the chalkboard, so obviously it's created a very good fake chalkboard to write on, and that's what consciousness is. It's a really good illusion. Really well done. Real well done fake thing. Hologram, whatever you want to call it. It's fake. But it's really good fake. Alright. I mean, it was, you know, it was trying to create reward and punishment, so it had to create some idea of punishment. Well, how do I create the idea of punishment? Well, I guess I'll have to make the thing think it's feeling something, and then I'll have to make it have bad feelings. You know, so it made feelings, it made value. It needed to make value in the world for us to be motivated to do something, so we'd know the value difference between going into the tree or going around the tree. We needed to know the value difference between those two approaches, because one was going to get our children into the future and one was going to make us fail dismally. And so the trick was, yeah, create some sort of feeling thing that makes it unpleasant to walk into trees. Okay. Anyway, I think that's enough. So these Indonesia comments come. It's kind of funny, like how many comments on old videos were in this group of comments. Just, you know. Every now and then someone responds to the Indonesia sucks video, and they just never address the real point, which is obviously they have a criminal justice system that's biased against foreigners and is stupid in the sense that, okay, you know, soak them for money, do a lot of things you want to do, but you just don't have any right to kill people for minor crimes. It's just retarded. Yeah, true. I also hate Indonesia. They hate Chinese. And they're mean and racist and copycats and destroy Chinese products and properties. Alright. So I don't know. You know, okay. They do that too. It's really not the subject of my video. So, superior being. Oh, I love people that just make preposterous overstatements. Maple syrup is the investment of our age. So it is true. There are these basic things that if you really thought about it, it's the kind of thing you say, yeah, that's the thing to put in the storage unit or whatever. That's the currency that'll have value in the future because it's durable. It'll last a long, long time. And it's got a lot of energy in it because energy is going to get expensive. And yes, it's all, people always will need these things, food things. They will need them. So if you can make durable food, any durable food is probably a good investment because there's going to be a point where the function of production is going to break down. You know, when all of this money bullshit, all this debt money, they finally allow the bankruptcy run on the bank, so to speak, the run on the bankruptcy court. That hasn't started, but once that starts, it's all over because there's no FDIC insurance. I mean, again, it's people just don't realize how they have how many gimmicks they've used to keep the economy afloat. They still have the almost $5 trillion in the Federal Reserve accounts. $5 trillion of basically bonds. They're just bond debt they're hiding. So it's old bond debt that they can't put the bonds on the market because they can't get any money for them. So they're just hiding them. They just put them somewhere where, well, we'll pay that back later. $5 trillion there. And then again, the FDIC insurance, they use the insurance to fix all the junk bonds in the stock market to prevent the stock market people from having the cascade, where one man goes bankrupt and then the guy he owes money to goes bankrupt and then the guy he owes money to goes bankrupt. So they had to stop that cascade because they're all the rich are living on a bunch of preposterously fake money. Okay, their money is fake as fuck. It has no hope of having real value. You'll never be able to cash their fake, I own the labor of a man who lives 200 years from now and has 2 broken legs. I mean, they own value. They can't possibly ever be worth anything. And that's what their money's made out of, a bunch of fake value, a bunch of promises. I'll pay you, 10,000 years from now. They have an IOU that says that. And it's like, they're using it like it's real money. I'll pay you 10,000 years from now. What? How could that be worth anything? We know the value of that would be 1 penny in real money, is sort of the argument. All right. I remember years ago putting a comment here saying childish things. Now I realize that I 100% agree with this guy. Well, I don't think you're 100%. That's going. You overdid it again, as we often do. Something we really should try to resist. We should probably have said 93.7% or something. Anyway, I've been diagnosed with Lyme disease. Well, that's no good. And it's the worst thing ever. Yeah, well, the first time I had it, I was like, I'm going to die. My fingernails ache. Yes, it was bizarre to feel your hair and you felt everything. Everything. Could you tell us more about your history with it? No. No. Well, you're watching an old video. Well, anyway, I had it like 10 times, 11 times, 12, whatever it was. And the problem is that I didn't know. The cat must have dropped a blood-gorged female in the house. So I didn't realize I was getting Lyme disease in my house. Okay, it was the frickin' couch. And once I sprayed it, I stopped getting Lyme disease. So the little nymphs, the little fucking tiny things were getting me in my own house. But yeah, it's nasty. So there's different versions of it. So each time I'd have different symptoms. They were never as bad as the first time, though. The first time was the worst. I mean, 105 fever. I was just dying. Gary, you said you don't admire anybody. I mean, thank goodness I'm not allergic to penicillin, because I don't know how people who are allergic to penicillin survive these things. Because it's the wonder drug did wonders. I mean, Gary, you said you don't admire anybody. Well, that's right. I'm sorry. Yeah, I just don't have. There's just nobody to look up to. I'm sorry. I have to look down at all of them. Since Jack of Working, that's an admirable guy. I am wondering if you admire David Benatar. No, he's an idiot. I mean, his other books are stupid. I mean, he just tries to be, in a lot of ways, he's just trying to be Howard Stern, the Howard Stern of literature or something, in the sense that he's a shock statement maker. So he likes to say things that are shocking. So he's defending chauvinism and defending, so I mean, that's sort of what he's playing with here. And so he's not personally invested, I would argue, as much as the real anti-natalists or the real efilists of the world, the people who really get it. They're horrified by this circumstance. I don't think he feels any of the horror, frankly. He's just playing with the subject intellectually, and he's doing it in this, I'm going to say something shocking kind of way. And frankly, his book was a steaming pile of shit in the sense that it was horribly written. I mean, it was just not an enjoyable read. It was, kind of redundant, and it was just basically making one argument over and over again, is that we all have optimism bias. Yeah, okay, I get that part. It really didn't get into the biology. It didn't get into the carnage in nature. It didn't get into any of the subjects that really need to be gotten into. The whole fact that our whole psychology is built on being a selfish cunt. That it's the nature of every one of us, even when we're trying to be good, we're still selfish cunts about it. We're still trying to find a comfy chair for ourselves in the end. I'll help the old lady, and I'll get a frickin' badge that says I helped the old lady, right? I mean, we are whores for self-gratification. So, the whole thing is a horrible system. These selfish organisms trying to pretend to be civilized, and it's just a terrible mockery. He didn't get to any of that shit. Just curious to know. Okay, well, now you know. I think he's a reasonable intellectual. I think, I don't hate him. Okay, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's a shithead. I'm just saying there's nothing to admire, because I think he's making a weak argument, first off. And I think he's making it without any passion. Any real, genuine passion for the subject. He'd just as soon talk about, aluminum trains versus plastic trains. Well, that brings up the subject of, I guess that subject popped in my head just because all these houses here are like brick and aluminum siding. And they just redid a house, and it's all vinyl. It's just such a glaring difference, that it just sticks out. They're doing the McMansion thing. Let's put big giant vinyl pillars and big giant vinyl this and big giant vinyl architecture, and it looks just so fucking plastic. I mean, it just screams at you, even though it's got like wood texture. It screams at you, plastic house, just because it's sitting right next to a house with iron railings and brick, and it just doesn't make any sense. Anyway, what a loser the sunglass douchebag is. Yes, I don't know what to call these people either, so it's fine. He is a creepy he's a cringy wannabe. He is a cringy wannabe. Wannabe what? Super sunglass wearing guy? Anyway, stick to your level of intellect. Video games. Well, that made a lot of sense. No, it didn't make any sense. You're talking to me, and then you're talking to him, and then does that make any sense? You can't switch who you're talking to without I'm now going to talk to the other person. But whatever. Play on words. So again, another person who thinks they understand plays on words, how to use vocabulary, and they don't even know that they can't change the person they're talking to in their paragraph, okay, without making some reference to how I'm now talking to him. Sorry, I'm sorry. All right. Retards keep fucking retards, thus creating more retards. Well, again, they're really not retarded until you make them retarded. Like they're not fat until you make them fat. They're not, you have to make them into these things, or allow them to become these things, or however you want to state it. You have to deny them their potential to be civilized and decent and honorable and a good, honest player. You have to deny them that opportunity. And it's just the way it is. There's an old crappy movie. I was watching MST 3000, whatever that old show was. Where they play the old movies and kind of make fun of them. The robot guys and all that. So, it's tolerable entertainment. Anyway, and they had a movie, I Accused My Parents, and it's a whole moralizing, preaching thing at the end, but I'm just, just the statement, because yes, that's, if there's an asshole, it's the parent. The parents are ultimately responsible. because it really can't be that hard not to create a monster. I mean, it really isn't that hard. You have 18 years to work on the fucking thing. 18 years to sit there with your pliers and your wrenches and your hammers to turn the thing into something that gets, oh, I shouldn't play my nig music way too loud right in front of somebody else's house. Yeah, wow. I mean, come on. Well, what the fuck? It's like, I shouldn't wipe my ass, on people's doorknobs. I mean, what? No. I mean, shoot the parents. Fuck. Put the parents in jail. When there's a criminal, go find the parents, put them in jail. The end. That's the reward and punishment. We've got to start punishing people. People have to be punished. I mean, they just keep letting them get away with it. I mean, they keep rewarding people for having too many kids. No, you got to punish them or they're going to keep doing it. I'm sorry, but that's just the rules of practical reality. You have to discourage stupid behavior, not encourage it, not reward it. Oh, you're being so culturally diverse. No, you're being a fucking asshole. Shit. He was very happy about this. The battery thing. Yes, it was. Yeah, and why was I happy? Because I was saving like $3. Yeah, I like saving money. Yeah. Hey, I can get another 2 months out of these batteries. Yeah, that kicks ass, man. I saved $3 fucking. I found a quarter today when I went for my run on the street. I find money on the street. The streets are actually paved in money. All right, it's not very much money per mile, but yeah, I found a quarter. It was just bent in 3 places. It's just hilarious. But anyway, it's a quarter. Fuck it. I just hit it with a hammer. It'll flatten out and be okay. Quintica, hey Gary, I did not know you were from Louisiana. I don't know how you couldn't know that after all these years. But anyway, I think it would be interesting to hear more about your take on Louisiana. Why? It's a 45-year-old reference, right? I only lived in Louisiana for 6 years, and they were my first 6 years. I mean, that's a long fucking time ago. 54 years ago I left. Or something like that. The culture and such. The culture was fucking retarded. I didn't have anything you'd call a friend. They were all assholes. Redneck, crazy, stupid, dumb, fucking idiots. There weren't no black people on my street. So this is all the white people. Dumb, stupid fucks. I mean, for entertainment, they'd have a possum in a garbage can and stab it to death with sticks. Fucking retarded. They threw cats against brick walls. I mean, just fucking retarded. Just what do you want me to say? Yes, there was nobody could relate to. There was not. Yeah, it was so. I had my family, my sisters and stuff. But I mean, frankly, I think I was almost molested a couple of times. That was my only interaction with other people, was they're trying to molest me. Which I wasn't totally against at the time, but I just didn't understand. Oh, that's what it is. But anyway, I mean, just fucking crap people. But anyway, and anywhere you went, it was the same crowd of crappy people. I mean, there was nothing charming about the humans that lived in Louisiana. I couldn't find one that was charming. The only one that was, we actually had for a while a black maid. And actually, she's potty trained me, from my memory. And she was just so damn nice. She was like Aunt Jemima. And it's kind of a disgusting story, because my father paid her like $5 a week or something. It was some outrageously poor wages. Just because, my mother had 4 kids in 3 years, kind of thing, so she was a little overwhelmed. But anyway, but so I really don't want to go on. I spent my youth not really interacting with people. I interacted with bugs, and I interacted with, like ants and snakes, and that's, It's where I got the turtle thing from when I was a kid. I loved turtles. Anyway, I've lived in Tennessee, Hawaii, Orange County, California, Florida, and Michigan. Well, okay. I've visited all those places, and I can't say that I like the people anywhere else either. I don't like people. Humans are just such douchebags, stupid fucks. I like the Dakotas for some dumb reason, right? I still can't figure that part out, because it wasn't, I mean, I must have been there in the summer, so it's okay, right? Because it seemed kind of like the desert without all the heat. You know, it was hot, but not too hot. But yeah, somehow there was less sun, you know, and everything was a little paler and hazier and flatter. I don't know, weird. But that's just a kid's reference, you know. I was there not very much. So maybe the rest of it's covered in hills and trees or something. But the part I was at was pretty cool because it was kind of flat and barren and rocky and just bleak. I like bleak places. Anyway, touch, 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 and such, oh baby. I don't know what that's exactly a reference to, but okay. Oh, here's a snarky comment, I think. Visit as responses, of course. Thinking clearly too. So I'm sure this is an asshole, because I think I've seen this asshole before. Inmendham, I wasn't playing gotcha or semantic games. Oh, yes, you were. I never said you actively sought to be a pet owner. You basically told me it was my fault I had a pet. You said it was my volition, and I was endorsing pets, and I was making a predator happy, and all this kind of bullshit. And that has nothing to do with it. Just has to do with, look, if I could kill all the cats tomorrow, I would kill them all. Okay? I would humanely put them all to sleep. Because humans can't deal with having pets in a responsible way, and they create too many abandoned and lost souls kind of thing. So it's way too expensive on the poor cats. They suffer way too much, so fuck human beings having any right to own them. I mean, it's clear my opinion, but clearly I don't blame the cat. Why should I blame a homeless cat for the fact that it's homeless, you fucking idiot? But no one forced you to look after the cats. Well, obviously I looked after the cat for a reason that has nothing to do with whether or not cats should exist, or whether breeders should be shot, or any of that shit. I took care of the cat because the cat needs to be taken care of. And it's not my job, okay, to kill this stuff. And then if I do kill it, people will accuse me of murder anyway. You can't see your hypocrisy here? You people, you're just impossible. I take care of it, you blame me. I kill it, you blame me. Does it make any sense? No, it doesn't make any fucking sense. That's why you're assholes. Because you can't make any fucking consistent sense. Will you come to my defense? Okay, I've stated plainly, I've killed animals. I've done it for their own fucking good. Okay? Because there's no place for them. Because human beings will not take care of them. I'd rather, I hate the whole jackass idea of cutting their nuts off and then throwing them on the street. It's retarded. Let's cut a hunk out of their ear, cut their nuts off, and throw them on the street. Fuck you. While you have them anesthetized to cut their nuts off, well, just cut their fucking head off, okay? They're not going to feel it. I mean, this is stupid. Now, if that attitude is going to get me, oh, how horrible, what an evil, he's cutting the heads off of cats. Because he hates cats. No. You people just have, you have no capacity to understand. I don't even know why I make these videos, because yeah, you're all too fucking stupid. Alright, anyway. But no one forced you to look after the cat. Well, of course, no one did except logic and decency. You made a decision to do so. Yes, a perfectly rational, sensible, civilized human decision. Where I do not wish to cause any harm. I do not wish to clean up other people's vomit. You fucking puke a stinking, dirty, crappy, shitty civilization, and you're saying to me, I'm the one that has to go do the dirty work and clean it up. Well, I'll do some of that, but I'm not going to spend my fucking life, okay, working to kill cats. This is not my nature, shithead. I'm not sit here made to be your janitor. That's not my genetic code, fuckhead. God, I hate your guts. Anyway, knowing how much they predate on other species. Yes, they don't predate any more than any other species. Any species that lives here consumes the oxygen and consumes the resources that are made out of all of this carnage. So fuck you. So you can't advocate responsibility. Of course, I'm not advocating responsibility. How am I advocating responsibility? A cat shows up to my door in pain, in distress, and I do something to comfort it. What the fuck do I have to advocate for, you fucking asshole? God, somebody should just shoot you right in the fucking head. You are this fucking stupid? You're gonna say, oh, I did an evil thing because I attempted to comfort an animal in distress. What a horrible fuckhead I am. Fuck you! I'm not gonna apologize for that, you insane, stupid cunt. I don't even want to read this. It's so fucking stupid. You are blocked, fucker. Alright, for the consequences of that decision. There's no consequence to the decision. The two choices were, I hit it with a sledgehammer or I feed it. Those are the two fucking choices, asshole. Now maybe you have the personal disposition where you don't mind going for the sledgehammer and bashing its little fucking brains in. Maybe you're Mr. Logic and you don't have any sensitivity or feelings, you fucking piece of shit. I'm sure no fucking, you've been to no fucking wet vagina in your life. You're such an unappealing piece of shit. Anyway. And the idea that there would be somehow be less suffering because some predator may drive another species to extinction is a weak argument. I really don't see how it's weak. It's an incredibly great task if you could actually prevent the existence of some species and all the victims, all the rape victims created by its existence. Yes, that's a pretty big badge you're going to get for that one, fuckhead. So again, just dismiss a perfectly valid argument with a weak counter-argument, which was, well, I just think that's weak. Oh, you think so. The asshole who would sledgehammer a poor little kitten on his stoop. You think it's a weak argument. Fuck you. You honestly think your cats had a chance to do that? A chance to do what? You're just so full of shit. I suspect you justify it because you know... because you have a personal bias towards cats over birds and rodents they killed. Wrong again! I just don't know. I spent my childhood basically as the bird guy in the sense that people would bring me birds that flew into windows. You know, they have here's a bird with a broken neck. Fix it, Gary. Its neck is broken. I can't fix it. Well, then you watch it die because I don't want to. That's basically what I had to do. Was comfort things while they died in my hands. Fuck you. As for cultivating plant life, of course it increases the insect population. Well, I'm sorry, you're an idiot. I mean, you can't make the argument any clearer. They don't get to eat the cultivated plants. How can there be more bugs that way? They don't get to eat them, and there's more bugs. When the choice would be a bunch of wild grass growing that they get to eat all they want. You're too stupid. Not to mention the pesticides and all the other crap. At least half of all insect species eat plants. What does that have to do with the fact that there's asphalt? You're saying that, if I plant a garden, the real truth would be there'd be asphalt if I didn't have that garden there. Or cement. No, you asshole. There'd be a bunch of fucking stuff growing, you fucking idiot. Stuff they're allowed to eat. You're just too stupid. They eat the roots and the seeds and the nectar. And again, how much do they actually get versus how much they would get if I didn't put these bizarre plants there instead, bizarre ones I wish to preserve versus ones they're allowed to predate. You're just so full of shit. The wood from the trees, yet you call me a liar. I call you a fucking cunt of an asshole. Yeah, you're a piece of fucking steaming, stupid, retarded shit. Because you want to believe your gardening doesn't increase the population of feeding organisms who suffer. Yeah, I'm just saying it's a stupid argument. But I suppose even if somebody could prove that it did, I might still do it. Okay, because I think, okay, it's not only good for me, I think it's sort of good for other people. Um, and yeah, it's one of my habits. I didn't say everybody should go out and garden, did I? Did I make a video saying everybody should have a garden? I don't know what your argument is. I ask questions about efilism and you go into some sidetrack. I didn't go into each side. You're the ones stuck in sidetracks, equating it to some argument about vegetarianism, which I never made. Well, it doesn't matter. It's always relevant to any subject about value. And I clearly probably made the point that there's value equations. They're just equations. I think that was the argument, right? And I was just illustrating. They're all just value equations. There are no morality, asshole. There's either you create an equation, a function, and you explain, well, here's what's valuable in this equation. Here's the variable that has value. And the argument is the welfare of sentient creatures has value, including humans. They all have value. Suffering has value, negative value. Comfort has positive value. Eliminating suffering has positive value. That's the equation. And you make the morality out of that equation, shithead. You make what you call morality out of that. You fucking idiot. Alright, I agree that eating roadkill meat about to be thrown out doesn't damage your vegan credentials, so why go make these assumptions about my views which I never brought up? I don't think I even made that argument in that video, but whatever. Because it's a good counter-argument, that's why. I can defend my value equations. I can defend most of my actions. Now, did I ever say I am the perfect green man? I never do anything to hurt anybody's feelings. I never do a negative thing ever on earth. No, I've never said that. I've never said I don't have personal habits and dependencies and neuroses that are inefficient. I have lots of them, like everybody else. I'm just not sitting here pretending they're not negative. I'm not like some meat eater rationalizing their meat eating and saying somehow it's good for the animal, that I'm torturing it. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm trying to nail down some points about efilism, but there's no points about efilism. It's not that complicated. If you can't figure out that all of these arguments that I've made over and over again, the Frankenstein argument, the drawing straws argument, you don't have a right to play with somebody else's, to impose risk on somebody else, ever. It's just a fact. You don't have their consent. Well, the fact that you can't get consent doesn't mean you still don't have consent. So it's a huge liability to any system being defended where there's something called a victim and something called a winner. And if the number of victims is too high, I would say if the number of victims is 1, you can't do it. Okay, you can't sit there and accept. I'll accept 1 rape, and we'll throw jelly beans in the air to decide who gets raped. I mean, fuck you. You should get raped. All right, call everyone a fucktard if they raise a question, and then you bemoan there's no legitimate to have a conversation, no one legitimate to have a conversation with. Your argument was inane and stupid. I pointed it out, I counter-argued it, and we're done. This linking thing. I mean, I can't click the white space on the page. The whole fucking page is a link to the video. I mean, it's just so fucking retarded. Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, he was happy about this. Okay, so it's Quintica, so here's the crap. So I'll read a couple of the comments and that'll be it. To be fair, the practice equality for all. To be fair and practice equality for all. Instead of feeding the cat, he could just start feeding the rats. That is, if he doesn't mind a rodent infestation. Well, of course, he does. I mean, you can't deny the fact that as a pragmatic, practical thing, most people aren't stupid enough to say, feed the bears. Okay, so we can have more bears walking the streets, right? I mean, they're not that stupid. So all the animals do have a certain liability or a personal threat, and obviously rats are a threat to your property, they're a threat to your health, and a pretty direct one. They poo right on your food. If he doesn't care about infectious disease or dying in a house fire, furthermore, he can't let the rodents destroy his stove and furnace and do without. He can spend his 8 hours a day working to repair the damage caused by the rodents in his home, but he'd better not let the health department know that he has a rodent infestation in his house. Well, I don't know if that's that big a deal. I mean, obviously I had rodent problems. I was walking them, across the stream in the little have-a-heart cage. Also, he fails to, and again, not for any good reason, except I just didn't have the courage to kill them. If he fails to, I don't have the emotional capacity to be the Terminator or whatever. I mean, if I could be killing humans, I could probably like doing that. But killing animals just isn't any fun. He also fails to notify the landlord of a rodent so he can be evicted and be forced to pay the total cost of exterminator depending on your location. Blah, 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 whatever all that crap is, but it doesn't necessarily apply. I like Gary, but this is his problem. He doesn't want to talk. Yeah, fuck you. I'll block you too. What was there to talk about? This asshole is making negative accusations against my hypocrisy. Essentially saying I'm some sort of hypocrite because I fed a cat. Fuck you. There's nothing to talk about. He wants to tell you how it is, no questions asked. What question is there? This is about people making accusations against my character. And they're so fucking stupid. Again, I can't win. If I killed the cat, if I made a video of me sledgehammering the cat, outrage. I make a video of me feeding the cat, I'm getting accused of being a hypocrite, a life lover. Fuck you. You people are so full of shit. Or you are stupid. Yeah, you're stupid. You're a fucking stupid cunt for making a justification for his stupid accusations that I somehow am a duplicitous asshole because I somehow am cheating my own argument by taking care of cats. No, taking care of the cat has nothing to do with a philosophical position. It has to do with me being an individual human being. Okay? That's it. I never said, every activity I have is philosophical. No, it's really not. I have a wank now and then. It's not a philosophical position. Fuck you. I've been listening to him for 10 years, and well, you're blocked now, fucker. It's always been this way. Anti-Laicism are good philosophical positions. Oh, gee, that's just so impressive that the stupid asshole thinks so. But Gary, the man, has his problems. Like what problem? I'm being accused of essentially being dishonest and deceptive by honestly telling the stories of what I've done. Fuck you. Alright, when it comes to communicating with people, no, you people have a problem. You come to other people with fucking pompous, arrogant accusations that have no basis in any fucking reasonable facts. You fucking piece of shit. But this is all online text format bullshit, so take it for what it's worth. Yeah, bullshit from an asshole. Kermit the Frog bullshit fuckhead. But yeah, fuck you. Fuck you for this bullshit. These stupid, petty rags from you little dicked fucks. Fuck you. Alright. At Efilist. Goins, if he gets an infestation, he could put a rat poison down. So yeah, it's not rocket science, he just said. So you don't really understand that rat poison can take days or hours to kill the rat. It doesn't kill them now. Most of them are, frankly, it's the poison embedded in a plaster. So the whole idea is that it gets stuck in their gut. And slowly the poison leaches into their bloodstream and over a period of days will kill them. You're okay with that? No big deal. I mean, you're just such a fucking piece of shit. So yeah, fuck you. Alright, enough of him. Yes. Yeah, I'm the troll. Yeah, you're a troll. Okay, and this accusation coming from the pretend ephilist. Yeah, they're all pretend. I suspect you come here to simply indulge in what, misery porn at the expense of inmendham. I don't even know what that means. Let's see what this says. If it weren't for born, then those would be one less troll on YouTube. I don't know what that means. But your worthless parents needed a pet. Yeah, that's a good. It's just, yeah. I'd wink at that one too. I mean, that's all this really is. We all exist because silly women want pets. But anyway, all right. This is probably enough of a video. All right, laughing my ass off. You may have won me over in the first 5 minutes there. Oh, good. I did something funny last week. As others have pointed out, that was not the video I linked. Those advertisements are sinister. The correct video. Why would I bother with a Ted Kaczynski quotes? Again, Ted Kaczynski was not some brilliant original thinker. I'm just so sick. It's like this whole Charlie Manson thing. Oh, Charlie Manson had the keys to the universe. No, he was just an asshole. I mean, I don't think he's the one that should have gone to prison for life, frankly. I mean, you say to somebody, go kill some people, and they go do it. I mean, it's not exactly entirely his fault. I mean, what I like about you is that you haven't changed much, not even the fucking haircut, Gary. Yes, but you scream a lot less. It's true. I'm running out of energy. I have to admit, the battery voltage is declining. I, for one, enjoyed the angry as shit personal insults. Can you scream more at people again? Yeah, well, we'll work on it. I mean, where I'm living, I really can't. So, I'm sort of stuck, you know. Alright, anyway. People don't want to risk their lives ruined. Really good verbiage. Well, anyway, let's see what this asshole says. Cato the wiser is often not very wise. You think the military doesn't keep secrets? Oh, please. The grunt private who's lugging the sack of alien bones, okay, into Area 41. I'm saying he doesn't keep secrets, okay? He's a shithead. He's a jarhead. He's an asshole. He's not some kind of guy well invested into the military and all that shit. He's just getting a paycheck. He's just a mercenary. There's no way he's not going to call up the National Enquirer and say, you guys you'd pay real money for, like, pictures of alien bones and shit, huh? Wouldn't you? Like, you might give me $10? Yeah. Fuck you. You're an idiot. He's going to be part of a conspiracy. Fuck you. You're an idiot. Oh, God. I mean, there's just no hope. I mean, they're just saying these people, there's like so few conspiracy theories that, went on for, a very long time without being discovered. We just don't have any evidence of that. It's like, it's just, we know the pattern. And we know that conspiracies that have more than like 3 people in them always fail. Oh, so, fuck you, you're an idiot. Even the mob, you can't, they always fail. They successfully do the robbery, but they end up, the truth worms its way into reality. They just can't keep the secrets. They fail. The conspiracy fails to be hidden. And a conspiracy that has 1 million players in it, you're just too ridiculous to defend that kind of crap. Too fucking ridiculous. Anyway. So, till the next time and such. Just did the save button. I was going to draw some pictures of life and stuff, but I did this shit instead. Yeah, so till next time, maybe. Possibly.